Boom, baby. It's the Mimi Show, brought to you with the love and support of viewers like you and Lil Skunky Products. Blunt Banger Bowl. Everybody should have one of those. Today, we're talking about fatherhood and being a father. We have Big J and Sirpo. What's good?
What's up? What's up
From
with it?
Best Way to Smoke podcast. I met them through my homie C Pop. That's a girl. I show you love. Your hugs to her.
Shout out
And
C Pop.
hey, hey. So that's what the topic is today, and what I wanted to talk with you guys about. I put a post on my Instagram, like, I'm looking for fathers,
Right.
someone who talk about fatherhood. The I growing up in the 80s and 90s, watching TV, and in Puerto Rico we only had 3 channels. So what we saw from fathers was in the movies. They left. That
Mm.
was our understanding, was you got pregnant, and then they left.
Right.
And then you had to be single mom, and you had to figure it out. And even though that was a fear put on a lot of women, I never had that fear. And I believed that I would find a good father for my children, and I did. And they have a father, and uh and I've seen the difference between a man and a father.
Mm.
So I mean, you
Tell,
one of
tell,
you
yeah,
tell me.
tell us about your experience though, like with that. What's the difference and from your opinion?
There's selflessness in fatherhood.
Okay. Yeah.
There's selfishness in manhood.
Mm-hmm.
There's it's almost like the feminine side gets bigger in fatherhood.
Right.
You're not just putting in your masculinity. You need your feminine motherly side, your the feminine side of you to care, to be a caring being for this other human being, and it's outside of you. So
Right.
that's been my main. I think I could say my main. What I've seen the biggest differences is the selflessness of a father, not a man,
It's a lot of
a father.
sacrifice. Yeah.
Right, right. The care for this little person that may or may not kind of look like you. And that's not even talking about stepfathers. I'm just talking about your legitimate child.
Right. Right.
And
Might
I
look
would,
a little different. Yeah. She said, might
right,
not even.
right. I'm not even talking about the step. I'm talking about your legitimate child. Uh,
Right.
And I was just telling Big J this, that in all of the fathers that I know, I only know one that's not taking care of his baby. And all of the fathers that I know, and that would have never even crossed my mind back in the 90s, growing up, that would be like, it just seemed like a normal thing. Well, dads aren't there.
Yeah.
Dads
I'm
aren't there.
yeah, and I'm gonna say something too though. Like even back then, though, you would be shocked at how many fathers, and we were speaking about black fathers, how many fathers are in the home and were in the home back in the days. Also, you know what I'm saying? That's not really talked about, and I believe like now, I like to see like what us having social media and stuff like that, and being able to you get to see a lot of different things of fathers, you know what I'm saying, being fathers, different kind of even mentorship programs, because a lot of the times, like coming from the communities we come from, sometimes the father is not there though, for whatever reason it may be. We could blame it on the welfare system, having the woman push man up out the house and stuff like that, just to be able to get assistance and
Benefits, the
right
benefits.
and benefits and live and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Or we could talk about the father that got scared and left, or had another family somewhere. But it's still something that affects it affects the kid, and it affects everybody, and it affects the community.
Society.
But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But it's I like the fact that it's a lot of you still nowadays we seeing a lot of fathers and stuff that's out there and doing what they supposed to do.
Yeah, and men stepping up as stepfathers.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm seeing stepfathers come
I
in
can
like,
attest to that. You know what I'm saying? Myself. You feel me? On the real.
I went looking for some numbers uh to kind of compare, the 20, at least from 2023 back. And they're saying that 70% of now 70%, it says, of black fathers who live with their children are part of their daily routines. They bathe them, they feed them, they take them to school. That it's not just daddy sitting down watching TV, they're actually active, and
Yeah.
that it's more than Latinos and whites.
Huh. But it's not
This
talked
is according
about.
to CBS. My
Yeah.
source is CBS News
Yeah.
for that percentage. But no, it's not talked about.
Right.
It's almost like people like the dirty. People like
Yep.
the drama. People like to hear the bad,
Yep.
when
Yep.
it's not all like that.
No, it's not. It's not. And for me, it was important. Like my mother and my father, when they split up, my father wasn't in the house no more though. He was around. And one thing about my father though, rest in peace, I miss him. You know what I'm saying? He was a financial provider for sure. That part never had to worry about nothing. You know what I'm saying? But as far as time, when they split up, the time I didn't get all the time that I wanted with him as a youngster. You know what I'm saying? As a kid, and it did affect me though. You know what I'm saying?
The
It affected
parenting
me to the
part.
point of I was like, when I have kids, I'm there for everything. You know what I'm saying? And luckily, you know what I'm saying, I got 4 kids, 1 stepdaughter and 3 sons, 3 biological sons. And with my oldest son, I went through a situation. I was young, I was 17 when he was born. So I was still trying to figure shit out myself. And his mom ended up they moved to Alabama for probably about 5 years. And I was sick. You know what I mean? It wasn't really too much I could do about it. But when they came back, I went and snatched him up though. And I raised him. He came back, he was about 8 years old, and I raised him till he graduated high school. From that point. You know what I'm saying?
That word,
My
you
middle
raised
son,
him. Yeah.
right. Yeah, like my middle son, it was baby mama, baby daddy drama, So, but I was always there, you know what I mean? She ended
Right.
up, how sometimes, women could be a little bit vindictive and because you're not messing with them no more and want to
Yeah.
get you back. Like I said, I'm always a provider for my kids, but she
Right.
put me on child support. So we had to go through all that process. I paid child support on my second son all the way up until he was 18, and still did extra stuff too, though. You know what I
When
mean?
it comes to child support, which I never understood, I didn't have to do nothing like that for my kids to have their dad take care of them financially and spiritually, and
Right,
he's their father. But I never understood, and I still don't know how it works. Like, is to sit there in a courtroom or to sit with people that have nothing to do with your family to
right,
make a decision about a baby. Yeah, like where's the process in the mind, I guess, of a woman? Because I've never experienced that. I've never had that thought process.
right,
To introduce law, like, how
right,
bad is it where it's like, no, I'm gonna get the government and law involved in the parenting? Such a
right,
soft, tender, important place in life is the people who run your child's life.
right,
To allow these other people to make a decision, a big decision.
right.
And then it's money wise and time. Okay, you
Mm-hmm.
can't tell me how much time this child is gonna need. I wasn't
Exactly.
I didn't grow with my dad. I didn't grow up with my dad or my mom. My mom left when I was 10, and my dad left way before then. I think I was 7 or 8. I remember
Right,
him I remember him pulling up to the house and hollering at my mom, I just want to see the kids. And my mom's like, go hide in the closet. No, you can't see the babies, you know, because of drugs and things that so
right,
she thought she's protecting us. We're learning to hide from dad. Like, it's all these, and how do you put the law into something so tender?
right.
Never
Right.
got it.
Yeah, a lot of the times I think sometimes it's needed. Sometimes a woman might have to because maybe she's struggling. Baby father ran off from the responsibility. So
Right,
you need some help. So that's understandable. You know what I mean. But
right,
then for the fathers that are taking the kids and the woman it's a lot of women that, be vindictive, just want to
Right.
try to create some kind of hardship for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
I've
it's
even
just
seen it where
different
the
situations.
man, I've seen it where the men even give more than what the court would allocate.
That's me.
That's
Yeah, that's me. I mean, and it wasn't no problem. But I'm gonna be 100% honest though. When she put me on the child support initially, and we went through the whole court process, I was like, okay, then that's all you getting. Everything else I buy for him gonna stay at my house. So when he come to my house, he can enjoy all this stuff that he has, and I'll pay you that. But then I got to a point. It probably took me maybe like a year and some change, and I kind of got to a point where like, man, we could cuss on
Mm.
here.
yeah. You cuss, you can
Oh,
smoke, you
okay.
can do whatever you want.
Right. I got to a point where
Okay.
I was like, man, like I was like,
Everyone's
fuck
like,
it. You know what I'm
okay.
saying? Right. That don't make sense because that's like bad energy though. You
It's
feel me?
hindering the baby. You feel it hindering the
Right.
baby.
So that's like, and it's bad energy. So I was like, man, fuck it. I didn't give a fuck no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, take this shit, or whatever.
So,
Right. Go ahead.
to
Cause
me,
of the
to me
baby.
that child support like type way, you know what I'm saying, is BS. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna just say for even for the pops that leave or even for the mom that leave, because either one of them could get put on a child
Yeah, for
support.
sure. That's real
You know
Mm-hmm.
what
talk.
I'm saying? But like it just reason why I say that's like BS, because I'm gonna just take your example, Mimi, for you know what I'm saying. It's like
Mm-hmm.
if you're in a situation, all right, I'm learning to hide from dad. I really don't know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm hiding for. You know what I'm saying? And that can be flipped around. I'm hiding for moms. I don't know what I'm hiding for, but I'm doing so. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You don't know how that may affect the child. You know what I mean? And now
Right.
you go into the court system. Sometimes the court system will make things like how you say so precious, you know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, seem so ugly. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? Now the two parents are sitting here fighting for something financially,
Mm-hmm.
money. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like,
It's not
and
the
how you
baby
say,
anymore.
like,
It's
how
not
you gonna
about the
tell me
kid.
how much time I'm gonna need to spend with my child? You know what I'm saying? To like connect, bond, raise, do whatever it may be. How you gonna put a stipulation on that? You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? By you putting a stipulation on that, you're going to see, you know what I'm saying, a quarrel between mom and dad. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? The court seeing this, that child is seeing it too. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah,
like,
real.
you mean to tell me as a child, hmm, my mom and dad don't get along because of me. You know what I'm saying? This is my fault. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Right.
Not even knowing like how that, just that right there is going to
Right.
affect that child.
Because we don't
That's why I
communicate.
think it's
They don't
BS.
communicate that with the kids. While these processes are happening, I don't remember my mom ever sitting down and telling me, look, your dad's on drugs and I'm trying to keep you safe and yada 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 yada. So I think because there's things that it's none of the
Mm,
kids business, or there's no use telling, but
Right.
some context, because even though it's a child, they may not completely understand, but I think there needs to be some context for the human being,
mm-hmm.
to understand what's actually happening, why the argument has gone to the point where now there's social services coming in the house, checking on me and if I'm eating,
Man.
Right.
and things like that. These are other people outside of the home that because these two folks can't get along, now they're not good enough on their
Mm.
own to handle us, to handle
Right.
a child. That's scary.
Facts.
That's scary.
Facts.
Super
That's
scary
it.
shit.
And
Yeah.
I mean, and now as adults, that we can look back and see how much life actually affected us, how much all these decisions we had to grow out of or get over. Now we see these
Mm,
little bits, and I think that help us make better choices and be better parents.
Be better
mm.
parents. Yeah, that's a
I know
fact.
I know one thing, you know what I'm saying? Like me growing up, I was pretty much like what, from like the age of like 8 years old, you know what I'm saying? I've been around pops pretty much my whole life, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, no, I didn't grow up with my mom and my dad together, you know what I'm saying? But I'm 40, you know what I'm saying? Within those 40 years, you know what I'm saying? My mom never said anything like hindering about my father. My father never said anything hindering about my mom. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Whatever knowledge I acquire, you know what I'm saying, that's my knowledge. Now if I ask, you know what I'm saying, they will give me their genuine real answer. It's
Mm-hmm.
up to me how I'm gonna accept it. You know what I'm saying? But that played a part, you know what I'm saying, as far as like my whole output on life. You know what I'm saying? Like I get it from my pops, you know what I'm saying? Like the manly aspect of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
how
yeah.
important, you know what I'm saying, the fathers
Handling,
are.
the handling.
Everything that goes with that. You know what I'm saying? And then when you said the feminine, you know what I'm saying? I get all of that from my mom. You know what I'm saying? That's where I learned how to have compassion. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? That's where I learned how to have like discernment, you know what I'm saying, for others
Yeah,
because of the meekness of the woman. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And then once I get all of that, pops come in, you know what I'm saying? Now I got the
Yeah.
firmness of
It's
it.
a
You know
balance,
what I
right?
mean? So
You're
yes,
able to
that
get the
balance, you know
balance.
what I'm saying? Even though like mine wasn't right there in the same household, I still like me in my world, you know what I'm saying? I got like, you know what I'm saying?
You
The
got your
perfect balance.
parenting, the
Yeah,
parenting
the
part.
perfect parenting. There it is.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you don't have to be in both of them there if it doesn't work, because sometimes that's worse for the kid, is for people to, to just stay and be fussing at each other, and then the baby got to grow up listening to you, and that's the mindset that they have in relationships and how they grow. So you and I've seen it with the father
Hmm.
of my children. We can still parent separately, but parent together, so to speak, the
For
children.
real.
Because that part,
It,
the parenting
it,
part, the part when they talk and you don't really feel in the mood to listen, but you
Right.
gotta listen to what they got going on.
Yeah.
That's parenting.
Yeah.
I got this little problem, and it's like, all right, what do you got going on? What happened in school? I'm concerned. And
Man.
then when I hear what the problem is, if you don't just let that go because they don't matter, no, you have to sit there and get into their little brain and take time. And as dads, I feel, because men have um men have a way of seeing these things that it's just logical. Women are very emotional, so the men, I believe, drive a lot through the logic, and a lot of times in parenting, just that logic is
I don't
enough
be
to
wanting to
make.
hear that shit though.
Right, right, yeah.
Hey, but look,
man.
having this conversation, it just kind of really made me realize I done had just about every situation. Like, you know what I'm saying? That I like with my oldest son mother, me and her cool as a fan. You know what I'm saying? Like cool as a fan. My middle son mother, she hates me. You know what I mean? Like she don't like me.
Yeah, just
You
hands
know what I
off,
mean?
yeah.
But then my
You over
youngest,
there.
right? But then my youngest son, me and his mother is married. You know what I mean? And I've been with him since watched him come out the womb and everything. You know what I'm saying? So I've experienced every level of it. The son that was kind of taken away, then I took him back. The son that was there and went through the drama with the child support and all that baby mama drama, and then to the wife. You know, to the wife and the kid and the family that way. You know what I mean?
Mm.
What would you tell a man who doesn't see how he could be a father? He only wants, say, a man that just wants, here, you just get the money, like that's not, hands in the air to the whole situation. What would you say that he would technically be missing? Or what do you say to a man who does not want to be a part of a child's life, their child looking like them,
Mm.
or all that good stuff? But no, that's she decided she wanted to have it, because you know how we have those conversations. You're gonna keep it, you're not gonna keep it. you know
Right.
I'm not ready to have a baby. If you want trying to have a baby, you're gonna keep this baby, but I don't want to have a baby, because that's another odd one. The man can't terminate a pregnancy
Right.
if he
Right.
doesn't want to have a baby, but it's on the woman.
I
So
look,
how do we talk to that man?
I think that it should the man should have rights too though in that same notion to where okay, you just popping. You know what I mean? We could have I could have had protection on and the shit popped or whatever the case may be. Now you pregnant. Now you like, oh, okay, I'm finna have this baby. And I'm like, I don't want to
I'm
have
not
kids.
ready. Right.
Right. I'm not ready for it. So shit, yeah, a man should be able to sign them right. You know what I mean? Like this the same notion, not necessarily make the
How would
decision for
that
her
work?
body. Yeah, I don't.
Because she's the one holding it in the oven.
Right.
But you got, but I had to put it in the oven though. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
That oven wouldn't even be working.
no,
You know what I'm
no.
saying? But though,
What kind of
if,
say would he have if it's if he doesn't want to have the baby and she still want to go through with the pregnancy and having the baby?
like you'll never know. Like it
He
wasn't on
shouldn't be
this topic,
obligated
but
if
I
he,
had
you know what I
the
mean?
conversation with one of my cousins. You know what I'm saying? It's like you wouldn't really know until you actually faced with it, huh? All right, here I come. Hold on, y'all gotta give me a time out for a quick
Time
second.
out.
Okay,
Yes.
for
Right
sure.
back.
For sure.
Well, I don't know if this is what he means, but I believe that you wouldn't know if you want this be a father until you're faced with being a father. I don't know if that's what he's talking about.
I could dig it. I could dig that.
Because
Yeah,
there
that's
you
kind
have
of that's kind of what I think he mean. Because a lot of the times it don't be planned to do that, but then you got to think about it. You having sex or having unprotected sex, so you know it can happen.
it's
And like,
it's a possibility.
right. So speaking like for me, I wasn't even thinking about that. I'm 15, 16, you know what I mean? Already having sex and stuff like that. So I wasn't thinking about, oh, if she get pregnant. I'm thinking about, oh, I got some. You know what I'm
Hormones, right?
right.
Gone.
Right. But when she got pregnant, I'm gonna say, because I was in the streets, and like I said, I was still trying to figure stuff out. And I remember that though, like when I found out she was pregnant, I was actually in juvenile hall. You know what I mean? I had went to juvenile hall, and she wrote me a letter, and I ended up being able to call her, and then I was just like, I was close to getting out, and I was able to call her, and then that's what she told me verbally, like, I'm pregnant, and I was like, by who? But and she kind of went,
like who?
Yeah, and she kind of went nuts though. You know what I'm saying? A little bit like you, whoopty blah 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 blah.
Like, how dare you say that I'm, because you're basically saying I'm fucking around.
Right?
How dare you not? It's you. It's your
Yeah, I was in juvenile hall. Right. You know what I mean? But we was popping before I went. And I was in there for about 7.5 months, 9 months or something 8 months. And when I got out, she was ready. She had my son maybe like 2 weeks after I got out.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But it did kind of change me a little bit. I had hair at the time. You know what I'm saying? And I had braids and stuff like that. So I was like really like kind of panicking. And I cut my hair off to like get it. When it got a fade and stuff. So I
know that ain't the reason, cuz
you need a renewal. He said he needed a renewal of life. He said,
so I could go get a job. You know what I mean? But
that part still, back then, yeah,
I was still in the street, and I kind of got more into hustling and stuff then, versus all the other stuff though. But I was always a provider, for my kids, and that was important for me, and just giving them the time and stuff like that. Like,
isn't that a lot of pressure? And I've always believed that. Back in the day, people would say that because I thought that way I was a pick-me. But damn, to be born a man and I have a son, and for the world to automatically put the expectation of you're going to provide, you're going to take care of a family, it's what you do. Mm-hmm. It's like it almost comes with the package of having a penis.
Man.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's a lot of pressure. Now seeing what life is. But with girls, it's like, oh no, you're gonna marry somebody rich, or girl, you can get somebody to get. But that's not how boys get it. Boys are the ones who are told, no, you got to have your own. You have to work. You have to. It's a different expectation just born as a man.
For sure.
A pressure. Feels to me like a pressure I don't have.
No, but you can handle like you could if you're fathering, you know what I'm saying, the fatherhood of it, the father and raising of the child, you know what I'm saying, if that's cool and on point, you know what I'm saying, it's like you're kind of cool, you know what I mean, because pops told me before I even had a child, You know what I'm saying? Like, well, it was actually the making of it. It was like, well, he was like, you know, all the fun and stuff you having and stuff now, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, y'all turning up. You know what I'm saying? He was like, you know, all that comes to an end. Once you bring a life into this world, your fun ends. You know
That
what I'm
Hmm.
saying? All of
conversation.
your time, you know what I'm saying? Your bread, all that stuff, it now goes to this kid. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? To those, what, 18, 21 years? That
Yeah.
little time frame.
Uh-huh.
That's that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if you a
So you
father,
were
you know what I'm saying? And
prepared.
it's
You
like,
got
I'll
parented
pass
with
that on.
preparedness.
Yeah, I'll pass that on right there because if you can actually grasp that before the child comes, you know what I'm saying? You can make a sound decision. Oh, you mean to tell me
Hey,
my
that
life and
part.
all that is gonna end? You know what I'm saying? I have to do all that to this kid. If you for that, I'm finna do it. But if you not, man, you can catch me at Thursdays.
Oh, amen.
Well, that's
how,
what you were
cousin,
about to talk
how
about before
old
you
were
left.
you? How old were you when little cousin was born?
21. I
21.
was 21. It's cold because I was 21 and I was in the pen.
Huh.
You know what I'm saying? So as far as like even throughout the pregnancy, you know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't with mine. I didn't feel like the belly. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
kicks. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I didn't go through and see with no ultrasound. You know what I'm saying? No umbilical cord cut.
That bit builds a
You know what I'm saying?
connection.
I
That
was on
does build a
lockdown for
connection.
that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? When I came home, I enjoyed every bit of it. Bam.
Facts.
That's
Ain't
what
no
came.
Because you
That's
were
question.
that's the good that came out of it.
you were
Ain't no question.
parented with that part of, look, this isn't going to be forever, and at some point you have to become
Hmm.
right. There's a change. I guess that's what you're telling me, is that there's a shift in the mind of a man that
Oh, it
becomes a
was a real
father.
shift in my brain. Like once I found out mine was coming, you know what I'm saying? Like that shift, that click, I was a wild one. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, and this last time, you know what I'm saying? Really, it was several times I've been before. All right, it's another day in the park. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Once this one then came, I'm like, oh, I can't handle this. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's
It's
either
like BJ talking about he
like
got his
I
hair
have to
cut.
be
We gotta
there.
go. We gotta change things. We gotta change.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I chose up. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
chose my baby.
Facts. Ain't no question. They come
That's
Ain't no
first. They come
question.
first.
that's
Like,
a that's
look,
a
like right
father.
now,
It's
my
logical. It's logical.
yeah, my youngest son, he
Is
plays
a
sports.
champion.
Yep. And that's where a lot of my extra time goes, has been going with him with sports since a young age. He did karate to basketball and football. Like he just ran with football. And he do track, he run track too. So like this past weekend, we was just in Vegas for his tournament. You know, they won their nationals, but it's the end. It's the end of youth
Hmm.
football for him. He going into high school, and before this weekend, I was like, hell, fucking yeah, I'm gonna have free time, like a lot of my free time back. But then, like on my way home, I was kind of telling my wife, like, it's kind of bittersweet though. I'm gonna kind of miss it a little bit though. I told you that same shit too though. Like, man, I'm gonna kind of miss it though, man. You
You
know, like
bond
all
the
the bond.
bonding. Yeah. Yeah. And then
Mm.
high school, that's a little man.
Yep.
Yeah, mine are in high school as well. And I see the difference from him being, little and having to be there to, no, mama, I got it. I'll see you.
It's like,
I like
damn,
that.
huh?
I'll see you later then. Yeah.
Man, man.
Right,
Oh
right.
man.
And then
I
the
I
time goes so fast too, though. Like it seemed like the older you get, the faster the time is going. Like and then like especially with my youngest son, it's like slow down. But see, I got two grandkids. You know what I mean? I got a
Hi, Grandpa.
grandson and a granddaughter.
I know,
So
Papa.
that
That's cold. Papa J.
yeah,
My grandpa.
yeah. I love it though. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
love it. Like my grandson, he called me G Pop. He be like, "What's up, G Pop?" You know what I'm saying? My granddaughter, she be like, "Grandpa, Grandpa." Oh, it just melts my heart though.
Does
Both
it
of them
feel
though.
like a start over? Like you can
Yeah.
see your baby again be small?
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yep.
because I got to live with my grandpa for a little while I was 13. My brother was 10, 11. And I remember people telling
Huh?
me that from the streets. They're saying, no, Lete
Hold
looks
on.
just
I'll be
like
right back.
you good, you
Yeah.
good. It's like he looked just like Lete. So Pavon is in cloud nine, raising his son again. Got a
Right.
second chance to
Yep.
raise his son. Look
Yep.
just like Lete. So that's
Right.
that's a whole different vibe. But
A
then he did
whole
get to
different
raise his son.
vibe.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
try again. You get to, so to speak, try again. Do it
Yep.
again in a different
And
way.
then
Now
and
you're
then the
older.
grandkids, yeah, the grandkids get a little different treatment than the kids.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause it's different. Cause it is
Sure.
different. It's a whole different person. You've grown as a person.
Yep.
Hopefully you've grown as a person.
Facts.
So your skills are different, and your care and your love and your I guess with time of taking care of your own kids, you have the love already there
Right.
waiting to share it.
Yep.
Uh yeah, that's
Yep.
vibes.
Yep.
Did did any of you I know I did. Did any of you when you were young, did you ever say I want to be a dad? Did you ever have that in your heart? No.
I didn't.
No.
When I was young, like in them days that you talking about, like the only thing I'm claiming is the hood. I ain't claiming no kids, no none of that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But as you know what I'm saying, that changed as I got older.
Like
Hmm.
it's
Them was them
wisdom.
adolescent thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
The
wisdom, the
only thing
wisdom.
I said, the only thing I said as a youngster was, when I have kids, I'm gonna make sure I'm there for like for everything. That's the only thing I would say. I would never be like, man, I want to have some kids though. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But
That's how I did it. That's how I mean, as mom, I remember me being little and hiding it from people at school because you know how they ask you, "What do you want to be when you grow up?"
yeah.
And everybody wanted to be something, and I'm like, I just want to be a mom. I want to be a really good mom, but I can't say that.
Hmm.
You can't just go in school in your high school, in your elementary school.
Do you think that's
Uh,
wrong for a child? You know what I'm saying? If they do ask, be like, I want to be a real good dad or I want to be a real good mom. You think
I
that's
I
out of
thought it
pocket?
was a bad thing. No, I don't think it's out of pocket. Not no, I don't at all. But then as a child, and seeing how everybody else wanted to be an astronaut, a teacher, and I'm like, I just want to be a really good mom, but I can't say it because then that means a lot of other things that I still didn't understand. But I knew it meant things that I didn't understand. But that's what I wanted for some
Hmm.
reason. I said I just want to be a good mom.
Hmm.
I just want to
That's
be a
right
good mom.
though.
Now,
Yep.
I know time had passed. The best job, the best thing I've ever done in my life is be a mom. I think I'm a pretty good mom. My kids are pretty great.
Facts.
Yeah, but
I
out
could
of all
dig
my
that.
things that I've done, that's the best. So I can talk to my little me and be like, you did it, you did good. You're a good mom. You did what you wanted to. So now
Yep.
be free to explore, all your other wants and needs because you're doing it. You did it. You're a good
Yep.
mom.
You did what you're supposed to do.
But as boys, it's not something that most boys even think of. I'm gonna be a dad. I want to be a dad. I want to have kids. I want to raise children. And I think it's the pressure of creating society. Men are the one who build most men are the one who build the
Mm.
things. Yes, it's women involved, but the men create the society. The men are most of the leaders. Not that they're all great at it, but that's patriarchy and what we've set it up and how the system rolls.
Mm.
So to
Hmm.
be able to I want to parent a boy that can grow up to to make a solid society, to be part of
Mm.
a masculine society that does have compassion but still knows how to stand his ground on
Hmm.
what he as a man what he is, and he is able to do that because of his father.
Mm.
No
Let me
question.
ask you this, Mimi. Like
Yeah.
as far as like the father's parenting to their sons. You know what I'm saying? Like if you have a man, he have his daughter, she falls, you know what I'm saying? Oh baby, get on up, you okay? His son falls, oh, get on up, dust that off. It's cool. Ain't no crying around here. You know what I'm saying? That type of
Hmm.
approach to the male child, do you
Hmm.
think that like kind of hinders him within his growth, thinking everything's supposed to be tough? You know what I'm saying? I
I've
can't
seen
show
it
no
work
type of
both
emotion.
ways. I've known men who were raised that way, with no crying, and then no, not able to express their emotions, and I've seen where it's been the opposite, where the boy was raised where he was able to express his emotions. uh for my own kids, I never, what they call, babied them, because I can see, how your kid, like, you just whining,
Hmm.
get up, you're fine, that wasn't, you're good, let's go. You could tell your kid. uh but I think the parenting now isn't the same that it used to be. The parents
What
now,
was the
we
difference
aren't.
with those two men? Those two men you
the
just said,
hard
what was the
the hard
difference?
the hardness of a man that can't express his feelings, the block, the boundary of, almost, if I do express my feelings, you're going to take advantage of it.
Man.
Those parts came from that kind of man that was not allowed to cry.
Hmm.
That was told by a man like that, I cry in my private, I'm not going to cry to you. I'm not gonna cry. If I'm gonna cry in my privacy, and then I'm gonna get up and keep it moving. When there's so much that can benefit from that, we know now, because because we're able to express ourselves and have the internet, from the community of men that can talk to each other.
Right.
Hmm.
You got men looking for a father now in our age. Men still looking for father figures. Or even me, I looked for a mother all my life, just because I was, my mom left when I was 10. So every time I saw older women, I'm like, oh, she could probably be like a mom to me and guide me. And so I can't even imagine how that would be for a boy looking for coach to tell him what to do.
Right.
Looking for the for pastor, or
What
for,
about that?
an outside older man to fulfill a void. Because isn't that what happens? You end up going to coach, you end up going, and then they kind of guide through
It's
the best
I'll
they
say
can.
Absolutely.
it's yeah, I
Huh?
think it might happen like that sometimes though. But like I said, with me, like, okay, when I was young, for a little period, Pops was like in and out. Like I said, he was there financially and all that though. But for me, I don't think I was in search of a replacement. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I was more so caught up in the streets, doing my thing in the streets and moving like that. And I wasn't looking at none of my older homeboys like, nigga, this a father figure. You know what I'm saying? I was like, nigga, this
Yeah, I
the
never
big
looked
homie.
at
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
This the homie from, from the neighborhood and shit
that's
like
your
that.
logic. That's
Right.
your
So
logic and my emotion. But
right,
I'm
right.
over here
So I
going,
think
maybe
I
she
just
can be a
put a
mom.
lot more on my shoulders. Like,
That's a
you know what I'm
man.
saying? I'm finna, you know, mash for myself and do it
Yeah.
like that. But like when I got older, me and my father, we was like super close, like super close. We lived together and everything, getting blow, chopping it up. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? And
yeah.
so just even, and I never held a grudge against him. When I was younger,
that.
keep it 100, I was in my feelings and my emotions about it. But as I got older, it was like, I looked at it like this, man. When I was little, my daddy was like Michael Jackson to me. Like, he was like the most famous person in the fucking world. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And that's why it affected me so much, because he was so cool to me. I wanted to be around a nigga though. You know what I'm saying? But
You loved him.
right, but I didn't hold no grudge against him as I got older. I wanted to just learn everything I could learn from him, even in his
Mm.
older age, to chop it up with him, and that, all that shit was special to me. But even when he passed away, it fucked me up for a long time, because it was still certain things that we didn't get to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Or we didn't get to
Mm-hmm.
experience with each other and stuff like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I look at it like, I keep him close to me, you know what I'm saying, all the time. And especially dealing with like my cousin right here. He on my daddy's side of the family. And I got a whole bunch of other cousins and uncles that look like my daddy. You know what I'm saying? So it's a blessing to be able to
Cool
be
dude,
around
by the way.
To
him
Cool
look
dude.
at it, to look
on
at the
everything.
family and see your dad is
Yeah.
alive and
And
everybody.
then like my aunties,
My
you
heart.
look like your daddy. You look just like your daddy and all that. And it feels good hearing that. I'll be like, thank you, auntie. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, on
Yeah.
the real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
lovely. That's
That's
lovely.
like even speaking about fatherhood and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? It's like I live way in Kern County. You know what I'm saying? I'm in Long Beach right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm in my pop's crib.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? Pops
Yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying, right up, that's what keep calling me. You know what I mean? You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? And it's like that feeling, you know what I'm saying? It's like if you actually, you know what I'm saying, not just I don't really know like the difference between dad, pops, father, you know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
it all plays a role, you know what I mean? And it's like shoot, like if you really, you know what I'm saying, got that chance, you know what I'm saying, and it's like pops want to be there, you know what I'm saying? They
Right.
want to be around this, that, and the
yeah.
other. Take advantage of that shit.
Yeah.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Enjoy your
Be
dad
around pop either one of your parents, you know what I'm saying? But if you're a
Yeah.
young man, you know what I'm saying, you got that opportunity to be
spend
around
time.
the ball sack that spits you out.
Man,
You know what I'm saying?
Say it.
Like, bruh,
no
like
matter
man,
what age you
cherish
are, be
Yeah.
around it. Yeah.
man.
Facts. Facts.
That's lovely.
You can
I
learn a
could
lot from
explain.
that. You can learn a lot from that just by even being around. Cause like even when you ask like the question in the beginning, like the difference in like men and fathers, you know what I'm
A
saying?
man
Which
and
is
a
a father
father.
is a man. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? It's like I know plenty of people, you know what I'm saying, grew up like with their fathers, you know what I'm saying? Like boom, like you see them every day. You know what I'm saying? But it's certain qualities that father didn't even pass down to you.
Right.
You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Mine's is here. You know what I'm saying? It's like I was able to fill out a job application, you know what I'm saying? Like pretty much before high school was out. You know what I mean? I knew how to change a tire, you know what I'm saying, in junior high school. You know what I'm
Real.
saying? Change brakes. It's like certain little, you know what I'm saying, things. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I realized at
Those are
this age
empowering
now,
things. Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
pops taught me this, you know what I'm saying? I was a little bitty kid. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And then it's like I sit and talk to somebody, be like, whoa, you just now learning this now?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's certain
That part.
luxuries, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
that comes with being a father, having a father. You know what I mean? That's like it'll
Yeah.
be an endless talk almost. Once you actually sit
Yeah.
and just think about it, you know what I'm saying? That shit is endless, you know what I'm saying? And it's
Yeah.
in the big cahoots or shots out, however you want to say it, to the active fathers. You know what I'm
The
saying?
Facts.
It,
active
it's
fathers.
that's
Right.
the word, active father.
The
Facts.
active, the ones that do the talking, that are there when the baby's running their mouth or when there's a problem, and then
Yeah.
girls having
Yeah.
having girls and having to teach them about the boys, and when
Yeah.
you're a boy, so you're like, I know what he wanted, so let me tell you,
Right.
it's a
Right.
dis it's a different conversation when I go to have these talks with my daughter. I'm like, okay, this is what I got to say. Now let me call the dad. Hey, it's your turn, because he's going to give a different perspective. He's going to give a whole different parenting
Yep. For what
from experience
from the
from a
logic
man,
standpoint. Yeah.
Huh.
from a logical.
I'm glad Mimi been saying that. I'm glad you
On
said that. That
everything.
like the fathers, we have the logic.
Facts.
Right. Well, I think it's part of the reason why it probably could be because of the upbringing of the belief that you had to handle it on your own. Because I see a lot of women who are given that idea, a lot of women who are raised with, you don't need a man, you need to do this on your own. It's they also function more so in that logical masculine state, rather than so much more of, as a woman, that's a more with the feminine, with the emotional, that
Mm-hmm.
upbringing of, no, you got to be like this. These are masculine traits.
Mm-hmm.
And I see a lot of my homegirls that did not have a dad, or that were raised with that you don't need a man mentality, struggle because they're more logical, because they're not going to take a lot of shit that an emotional woman would take, or would more so not take, but what's the word I'm looking for, not barter,
Mm.
compromise. Compromise is an emotion, is I think in our emotions.
Mm.
Logic that I don't think has compromise in it. Logic says right, wrong, what is, what ain't.
Ooh,
Right.
But that compromise is in our femininity.
I gotta
And
hurry up.
when
I'm in a
you're,
state of emergency. My computer finna drop.
uh-oh,
Right.
I
that's
don't
all
want that
right.
to die.
We're still here.
Right.
But yeah, so I feel like seeing the the women that are raised with the I don't need a man, that they do run off of more logic.
And I've seen situations where like a woman to have that mentality and get in a relationship, and maybe have a kid in that relationship, but you still got the mentality, I don't need you. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the times it could push a man away,
Yeah,
to where it's like, shit, you said you didn't need me.
right,
I'm gone then. Cause this
right.
woman right here, she said shit, she might not need me, but she making me feel like it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I understand.
yeah,
I
on the
understand.
real.
Well, that's why it's like I said, it's the balance. It's the balance of the emotional and the logical, and the fathering has so much, or a father or dad, a man in your life as a woman has so much power into how much of your life is run through logic and how much of your life is run through emotion. I think the more involved the man is, the more a woman can be sure of herself when she follows logic, because it feels like we're more secure when we, no, I feel this is what I feel and my heart feels that this is bad. That's very feminine. But having the father who, like Simple was saying, who said, look, your life's about to change. There's a
Mm,
point where this is no more.
mm-hmm.
How many of us had that conversation? I don't think a lot.
Man,
I don't think a lot of us were told that. That's a gem.
on everything.
a
Yeah, for real.
perspective a perspective for growth from there on, to have that in your mind from a person who love you, tell you, look, this is
Mhm.
how it's going to be, instead of you figuring it out, how they say, figuring out in the streets.
On the real. That's 100
It's
right
make it
there.
hard.
I want to ask y'all opinion on this one. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, for a long time it was a saying. You know what I'm saying? It's like an absentee dad. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, you kind of like all the way fucked. You know what I'm saying? You got a dad that's just there. You know what I'm saying? But then you got your dad that's there and that's active. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I believe that saying to be like, you know what I'm saying, the part as just being there, you might as well be absent.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because if
just
you're
making
just
the
there,
money,
you know
coming
what I'm
back,
saying, you're
going to
not
sleep, going back
providing
to
no
work.
substance, no
Right.
nothing. It's like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, why are you here? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do y'all feel about that saying there? You just have to be there.
Gotta do more than
No, you
just be
need more
there.
than that. Yeah,
Yeah.
you
For
need more
sure.
than that. Just because you have those moments, those conversations,
Yep.
we as adults, we put so much of this stuff on our relationships or on our friends, because we didn't have a dad that was there, or whatnot.
Right.
We put these, hey, can I talk to you about this, or you're supposed to behave in this way, because we're seeking for those masculine traits. But this is your relationship. This ain't your father. This is
Right.
not your
Hmm.
daddy. This is your man. Yeah. So there's things I think that we miss from
Anything.
that part. From
Can
that
I ask
part.
you this? You
Ask
know what I'm
all the
saying?
bitches.
Like as far as like the absentee father for the daughter. And I'm just
Uh-huh.
getting this from what you just said now. The daughter growing up with the absentee father, but when you actually get into a relationship, whether
Uh-huh.
it turns out to be marriage or whatever it may be, what are the chances that, you know what I'm saying, that girl is looking at this man as a father figure slash spouse? And even vice versa, you know what I'm saying, with the man growing up without a mother, you know what I'm saying, you find a wife, you know what I'm saying, you be like, oh, this is like a mother slash something figure.
That Okay. Well, my expectation of a man was put to me by the people that raised me, which were foster people and family. And what they told me to do was whatever he said.
Hmm.
When you get married, or if you're with a man, if he wants to drink, you drink. If he wants to smoke, you smoke. Because if you don't do it, somebody else will. So,
Hmm.
not saying that was good, not saying that was a good way of doing it, but a man never told me what to do about a man. it was
Mm.
all a bunch of women keep, I guess, building me up to an understanding of you're only worth whatever he values you to be.
Mm.
So I feel like if I had a dad, I I would have had more power in myself
Mm.
instead of relinquishing it to the man, which is what I was being told to do, what to do. If whatever he wants, you better do whatever he wants you to do, or else somebody else is gonna do it. That was burned. But a
I
dad wouldn't
believe
say
that
that to
only
me.
to
A
an
dad wouldn't
extent.
say that to me
Right.
though. I don't think a dad would say to me, "You do whatever your man says." There were other things that I could have learned, things that I could have empowered myself to even make better choices in my relationships. See,
How
that I'm
long?
missing.
How long did it take you to break out of that mindset?
I had to, I had to, I had to get hurt, and I had to. Let's see. I'm gonna say late 30s, my whole life, pretty much. It's about
Can I
so
substitute that
not
word you use, hate, for a learning experience? Because it
yes,
seems like
learning
it's a learning
experience.
experience.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, it was learning experience. But I if I had had a dad that was active, that wasn't just there, or was just, or maybe would have been there, because then I would have seen what it's like to look at a man in the house.
Mm.
Uh, the there's so many different aspects of the being a man in the house. You see what it looks like when your mom and your dad kiss. You see what it looks like when it's a loving relationship. You get to see those things. Instead, I didn't see none of it. And I was told by all the women to be this way.
Mm.
Then once I learned that this way turns me into a mother to a man,
Mm.
that's not what's up.
How were
That
those
wasn't.
women who told you that?
How were they?
Yeah, like
What do you
like
mean?
did they have a spouse, you know what I'm saying? Were they like happy, you know what I'm saying, within their like
Wasn't
life
nobody
prior to
happy.
them?
Wasn't
Yeah.
anybody happy.
So that just
My
hurt
one of
people
my main
sharing
goals
hurt.
in life, yeah, one of my main goals in life is to try to be or be a happy woman, so that my daughter knows what it's like to look at that's a woman that's happy. Because I had never seen a happy woman. Never.
Mm.
It was always, oh, and I'm just waiting for the kids to grow so that, I can kick his ass out who he beat me. But he needs to be here until the kids grow up. And then as soon as the kids turn of age, then I'll kick them out. Or it's always all these other stories where you're trying to get rid of the guy, but then you're telling me to always do what the man wants you to do.
Mm.
So it was almost counterproductive. And what it did was it turns a woman or a girl into a mother to the men, where I ended up dating. When I dated, I mothered them.
Mm.
And there's a difference in you caring for a man and I'm a cook for you, I'm gonna clean for you, and when you're mothering, which is you're
Break it
taking on
down.
responsibilities.
Break it down.
But you're taking responsibilities that they should have, and you're taking it on you because it's you take on more. You be a mom. You be a mom
Yeah.
to your man, and that's
Huh.
not what
Mm.
a man. You need a man that's a man, so that you can be a woman. You need to be able to be uh soft and to lean on. A man is for leaning on, not for me to always be figuring out how do I make it so that he doesn't leave. So put that, oh my
Mm.
God, I can't do anything wrong because I don't
Mm.
want him to leave me, to a person who was always told to do whatever the man said. That's a, what is it? It's a concoction. It's a terrible,
Mm.
messy concoction.
Oh
Mm.
man.
On the
I
But
real.
think that's kind of like the importance of parental figures, period. You know what I'm saying? Mother and father. Because as a child, you know what I'm saying, you see, you know what I'm saying, mother, father. You know what I'm saying? Okay. As you get older, you're not gonna date your mother, you're not gonna date your father. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? Like even a
Mhm.
man, you get in a relationship, oh, I gotta treat this girl like she's my daughter.
Right, but
Oh,
I'm
I'm
over
this
here
woman, I gotta
paying
treat
for
this dude
you
like
to
my
go
son.
to the dentist because you didn't have enough money in your world. You're not working hard enough in your world. So let me figure out how I'm gonna do so that I can pay for you. The mothering comes. The mothering instead of leaving that kind of relationship and saying, okay, this man doesn't benefit me. This man isn't to my benefit. It's I gotta find a way to keep. I gotta make sure he doesn't leave. So if he needs me, I gotta be there for him. It makes a weak woman. And for many
Mm.
years, I was weak. I
Mm.
was weak to the idea of don't let them go. Don't, do what they need, do what he wants you to do. You want a threesome? I'll give you a threesome. You want what you want, whatever, baby. What?
Mm.
Calm the fuck down. How about what he
Man,
can do for you? How about him taking the part that he, what are do that guy. Go to that guy.
yeah, it go both ways. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It gets weird. It gets weird.
unless we, you know what I'm saying, handle that business and give me that thing, mama. You know what I'm saying, or something. You know what I mean? But or
It gets
like tap it, daddy, tap. You know what I'm saying, some shit like that or whatever. But yeah, all that babying and mothering and fathering and to a grown motherfucker, that's garbage. You know what I'm
it
saying? That's
is.
All the
garbage.
way.
And you can only see it and accept it when if you um are real with yourself to what you've done. Like, oh man, I
Right.
fucked up. I spent all these time and all these years thinking I was gonna create a relation. I was creating a relationship the whole time I was kind of being a mom.
Mm.
Or, you gotta be real when you fall. You gotta be real. I fell and
Right.
it was me. Or
Hey, do
I
you
did
think that
I did.
plays a part? Like years, like if you put in years, like if it's the, you know what I'm saying, like in your situation, you know what I'm saying, I have to son this dude. I mean, I have to daughter this dude, and you daughtering and sonning for like 5 to 6 some years. That's a long time. You know what I'm saying? And being with another person, do you
Mhm.
think that makes it kind of hard for you to come to the realization like this ain't it
Well,
from the time put in?
I want to say I made good decisions with whom I multiplied. I multiplied the right one, baby. So I didn't have. I'm
That's right.
blessed to say,
That's right.
I didn't have to deal with that part. And when I did have have a termination because I knew this ain't this this male will not be the one that's going to step up, will not be a father. I just knew it wasn't going to happen. So I didn't put myself in that situation. That's where I feel like I got a lot of control. Uh, Not just control, a lot of, how you say, I, I did the right thing. I sat down with myself.
Right.
Mira, let's keep it real. You've done all this mothering. Are you sure you're going to have a baby to somebody who needs mom? And I decided not to. That's why, and it didn't happen. But when with the father of my kids, I knew from jump that it was going to be all right.
He gonna take
Hmm.
care of his business.
Do you
Yeah.
think women like, you know what I'm saying, know ain't shit father or a good father before
Yes.
they have the
Yes.
child?
Yes.
So when they have the
Yes, we
child
do.
by the ain't shit father, you know what I'm saying, and then start complaining about the ain't shit
Cause
father, who's at fault?
you,
The
Mm.
you
father?
woman,
Oh,
you
damn it.
woman. That's what I'm saying. If it's our
But you got that
choice,
hope and
that
that prayer though, because of that swipe, because that swipe working, and he's selling
right.
the dream. You know what I'm saying?
Right. If sex will make women be crazy, crazy. Yeah.
Yep.
So if that ancient dude is got her messed up in the head, she might think that he possibly could maybe, once the baby come out.
Maybe.
No. But I knew right. But I knew from the get go. I knew from the get go. I'm like, no, he's a good man. He's gonna be a good dad. And I that relationship, it wasn't I was never scared. I never mothered.
Right.
It just was different. And yes, we do know. Yes, we do know. That's why I don't understand. And I think I made a joke of it in one of my little fake commercials. You ain't know no better. You didn't terminate it. You didn't know no better.
Right.
Maybe your stupidity got in the way, because you know how we're running. You know how we're running
Man.
through the emotions, through the feeling, the feel. Oh, that feels so good,
Man.
but that's gonna end. And then when you're left with the baby on the outside, does the good feeling come and bring you food? Does that bring you something, for the baby to go to school in? You got a car,
Right.
you got, you. So, it's a dangerous balance to be a man with a good, how do I say it? With good dick.
A good swipe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Because you might end up with some babies, and that you didn't
And
want.
it's kind of vice versa and it's like the same way for men too. You know what I'm saying? We know like this broad right here, you know what I'm saying? She gonna try to suck a nigga pockets dry in the mug, you know what I'm saying? If this happen. You know what I'm saying? Or if this does happen, you know what I'm saying, we gonna build an empire together. You know what I'm saying? We know
Right.
the same, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
But we still
And you still, because it
fall for a
feels
big
good,
black and swallow.
that the head and the other head
Yeah,
communicating in awkward ways.
that juicy juice is cracking from the top and
Yeah.
the
You know what I'm
bottom.
saying?
Yeah. We need your logic to come back. We need to shake it off.
Oh, really?
Just shake it off. And what can help you shake it off? Sometimes seeing other people go through something. Sometimes having a moment where you really need them and they're not there.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be like, oh man, they're not there, and I needed them. Like, no, I shouldn't multiply, because that's the whole thing, is we are multiplying y'all. We're
Right.
good. We really don't. I mean, y'all, man. I think men are the ones that are made for procreation. Once
Right.
right, I don't think it's the women. What we choose it. We choose it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we made to pro. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we made to
Yeah, y'all
procreate.
busting
Yeah.
it everywhere. We could do y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
what
why
it's.
we
We
Yeah,
can.
we
that's
That's why we
procreate
can
together.
still
Yeah.
have, impregnate a woman shit up into what 80, 90, and old, all the way
seen
to the
that.
end.
My grandpa
I
had a
ain't seen
baby
no 80.
at
You seen an
70.
80-year-old something have a baby?
I had
A dude,
a
yeah, a
lady.
dude get a woman pregnant.
Man,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
No, I'm talking
my
about the
grandpa.
woman
Oh,
holding it.
no, 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 no,
Oh,
no,
a
no, no, no,
woman, no.
no. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying a dude can go, all the way to the end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, our inners don't, not every woman can do that. There are some, of course, there's always the outliers and whatnot, women that wait till later in age, or it accidentally happened, things like that. But as a norm,
Nah, none of that.
just because we age. We age. And them swimming in theirs, is different from the whole
Yeah,
system
get
that
locked
holds it
up.
in.
Yeah.
Like we got the whole situation, the whole incubator. Y'all send in the swimmers.
Yeah,
Right,
we sit in that seed. We sit in the seed. Yeah, that seed.
right. I'm gonna ask one more question, or get one more perspective from you guys, and then we'll go ahead and end it. We've been here an hour, and I really appreciate your words and your time and your spirit. And I wanted to be able to close it giving a maybe not advice, but maybe a something, a takeaway for the dads that are not active, a takeaway out of all this, something simple that we like, how Simple was saying his dad sat down and said this and this and this, and it's not
Right.
going to be forever. So a takeaway that I could give any, if there's men that are watching that are not active in the church's lives, and they might be searching for, why should I, or what's the point, or here go this bitch talking about some shit she don't know, uh something, some takeaway that they can say, this does benefit me.
I would say I would say this. I would say you missing out. You know, I would say you missing out on probably the best bond that you will ever have in your life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I'll leave them. I'll leave them with that right there.
Me, you know what I'm saying? Whether you coming into fatherhood or you already in fatherhood, I would just say, and this is something coming from my pops, you know what I'm saying? A wise man learns from other people's mistakes. A wiser man even learns from other people's mistakes. So meaning you learn from your own mistakes and then you look at others and learn from their mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So the fathers that have done it, you know, seen some mistakes that they done, you even seen some good that they have done. You can learn from it. It's wisdom within it.
Right. More logic.
Mm.
More logic in the wisdom. All right.
Mhm.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Big J. Thank you,
For
Sirpo.
sure.
This is the Mimi Show. I'm gonna post some clips. This was wonderful. And
Yeah.
anybody want to say anything else? Shout out the Best Way to
Yeah.
Smoke.
Yep.
Yay.
And we got to get you on our show on the live. We got to get you to come sit on that couch
Oh my
Yes,
gosh,
yes.
yes. Where are you? Where is that couch?
in Long Beach.
Okay, I'm not too far. I'm in Huntington Beach.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna
I'm
put it
right there.
together. Yes.
Oh snap! You're gonna see me on the Best Way to Smoke. Thank you again so much, and I'll
For
be
sure.
there soon. And thank you for watching the Mimi Show, y'all. Y'all have a good night.